Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. We're gonna start a new mini series here on my channel, including 4 episodes where I'm gonna be showing you some NARS product I recently purchased. Every episode will focus on different parts of the face, and today's video is gonna be the face base products. The reason I decided to break this down into 4 videos because I'm gonna be giving you as much information as I can of each product, and I feel like it would be a little bit too overwhelming if I try to squeeze everything into one video. So like I said, we're gonna do 4 little videos, and I don't have everything from NARS. For example, I don't have a primer for them, and the reason for that is because they're really bloody expensive. So I just try to purchase some of their most iconic products that I know that will 100% work, and the ones that I've been very curious for a long time to try out. And to start, like I said, I don't have a primer, but I do have a foundation. I have the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation here in the shade Vienna, which is a little bit more neutral than my skin tone. I'll be honest, if I purchased this in store, I probably would have picked a more pinky shade, but I purchased it online and it seemed like a quite good match, and I do think we're going to be able to make this work. This foundation has a really impressive shade range. I counted 32 different shades, but there might be even more than that. It comes with a pump and it has 30 milliliter of product in it, and the glass bottle, just like every other NARS packaging, feels really luxurious and well made. This retails for £35, which is a little bit on the higher end of the normal foundation price range, but I would say it's still a normal price for a high-end foundation. And let me just tell you quickly the claims from their website. Perfect your complexion with NARS Cosmetics Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, a lightweight, breathable formula infused with micronized pigments that mimic the skin's tone for a natural looking finish. Fortified with a skin optimizing complex of raspberry, apple and watermelon extracts, the liquid foundation delivers medium to full buildable coverage that remains transfer and sweat resistant for up to 16 hours. Expect smooth, flawless skin with an even texture and a fresh, luminous glow. So that sounds amazing, because I always wanted a foundation that is kind of full coverage, but not quite as full as a matte foundation would be, and it's a little bit more natural looking and just a little bit luminous. I'm really hoping that this foundation is gonna be as good as it sounds. I already primed my face, so I'm just gonna get right into it. 1 pump of product is not a lot. This is 1 pump. Definitely not too runny. As you can see, it stays put quite well, but it also doesn't feel thick. It looks really nice. It's really undetectable, but I definitely want to go back with more, like on my neck and on my cheeks. So we're gonna have a second round with this foundation. Okay, so the shade is still not the best for me. I definitely could do with something a little bit more pink. The foundation itself is really nice. The only thing I'm gonna say is that wherever you have any lines, make sure to blend out the product properly, because without blending it is gonna start settling into that area. Otherwise, I really like the way it looks. So the next product we're gonna use is one of the few ones that I have tried before, and that is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have this in the shade Creme Brulee, and thanks God this was a right choice because it's a really beautiful pinky shade. This contains 6 milliliter of product and retails for £24. 6 milliliter is quite small, considering that we have 15 milliliter high coverage concealer from Too Faced available on the market. But remember, this has come out very long time ago, and this was one of the very first concealers that people have actually enjoyed using under the eyes. I used to have this back in the days in the shade Custard, but that is actually a little bit too yellow for me. Creme Brulee is just the perfect shade. So I'm just gonna get into applying this. This is not really a full coverage concealer. It's more of a natural finish. But I feel like full coverage concealer is really only a thing on YouTube. If you go out in the real world and you speak to any actual makeup artists, they will all tell you that they prefer something that looks more natural. And I think NARS is definitely a brand catering towards makeup artists with their products. So as you can see, this is a really similar shade to my skin tone. It's not really brightening anything, but to be honest with you, most of the times I don't care much for brightening. I just want a little bit of coverage. So I'm gonna quickly blend this out now. All we did was just adding a little bit more coverage around the eyes. And I'm just gonna go back here in this inner corner where I actually have some discoloration. So I consider that done. I have another concealer from NARS, and this is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer. And I also have this one in the shade Creme Brulee. As you can see, it's very similar to the liquid Creme Brulee, but a little bit darker. And this one I enjoy using on the face. I just normally use my finger with it. Obviously, if you're gonna be using it on someone else, you should be using a brush, something like this Zoeva Concealer Buffer brush. This product is only 5 grams, but a little goes a very long way with this one. And the reason I love it is because it doesn't emphasize any texture on your face, and it's not gonna settle into any lines. So basically now I'm just gonna look for any imperfection I have on my face and apply a little bit of this in that area. I enjoy putting some in the outer corner of my eye because, like I said, it's not a cream, so it's not gonna settle into any lines, but it's gonna still brighten up that area. And that's it really. I don't have any breakouts right now, so I can't show you how it looks on breakouts, but it looks really nice, honestly. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but this one is also £24, so it retails for the same price the liquid concealer does. Now, because I don't have any setting powder from NARS, I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna use just a little bit of this RCMA setting powder, and then we're gonna be back with the powder products. So moving on to the powder products. The first thing I have here is the Laguna bronzer, but this is not the original version of the Laguna bronzer that everyone used to use about 5 years ago here on YouTube. This is a new version called Sun Wash Diffusing Bronzer. And the difference is that this is a completely matte version. This retails for £31 and contains 8 grams of product. As you can see, the pen is different. I don't know if you can see the texture in the pen. Really beautiful. So I'm just gonna jump right into applying this bronzer. This is not gonna be the first time I apply it. When I received it, I straight away started using it because I was so excited. You know, this is such an iconic product from NARS. I feel like a couple of years ago everyone used to have it and I never had a chance to try it. And to be honest, now that I found out that it was originally a quite shimmery bronzer, I'm glad I didn't pick it up until they come out with a matte version, because I don't really like shimmery bronzers. I have a couple of them from Anastasia in the Sun Dipped Glow Kit, but the only reason I have those is because I wanted the highlighter shades from that palette. But otherwise I would never go and intentionally buy shimmery bronzers because I feel like I'm just not tanned enough and I have a lot of texture on my skin and I don't need my bronzer to emphasize that. And also I feel like the glow I get from my highlighter is enough for me. So as you can see, Laguna is again just a slightly warmer, darker shade than my skin tone. Nothing dramatic, but that's just something I really enjoy. I think it just looks nice and healthy, especially if I'm going to work and I want to put some makeup on. I don't have the time to be careful with my shade and light palette because those shades are much darker and they build up very quickly. But that is sometimes just too much for me, and I feel like this is something that in the morning rush you can just quickly add on and it's always gonna look perfect. So if you have a lighter skin tone, definitely don't be scared of picking up Laguna because it's a really subtle bronze shade. They also have some darker shades like Casino, or they have one shade that's even darker which I cannot pronounce. So the next thing is definitely to add some color to the face, and for that I have this NARS blush here in the shade Deep Throat. I know everyone loves Orgasm, but Orgasm is again a bit too shiny for me and too gold. I don't like that shade. I much prefer Deep Throat. I actually cannot tell you how many shades of blush NARS has because it's an always changing number. Whichever website I check, it's always a different number, but they have a lot of shades and a lot of limited shades. As you can see on the picture inserted, Deep Throat has still a little bit of a gold sheen to it, but it's a really beautiful blush and it's not too shiny. For whatever reason, NARS really prefers shimmery blushes, and Deep Throat is still one of them, even though it's on the more matte side. The blushes retail for £25 each and they contain 4.8 grams of product, which is shocking. NARS's products are quite small and expensive, so yeah, you definitely want to go and check them out in person in the store before you decide to purchase anything, because financially it's a real commitment. So we're gonna now go on and apply Deep Throat. One more thing I wanted to tell you is that the NARS blushes are really pigmented, so you don't need a lot of product. I feel like the MAC blushes are definitely less pigmented. I think you can tell straight away that it added the sheen to my cheek. So again, if you don't have time to go back and apply some highlighter on top of it, I feel like you're fine. I mean, not like you can't leave the house without highlighter, but most of us prefer a little bit of a sheen. Also, I just feel like this sheen is just enough to make your skin look healthy and youthful. It's not really anything overwhelming, so I think this is beautiful blush. And the last thing we're gonna apply on the face is highlighter. Now, this product that I have here was originally one of the blushes, and when they realized that people are actually using it as a highlighter, they decided to reformulate it into a highlighter. So this one is also in the new packaging now, and it costs £29, which I feel like is really expensive for what it is. Since they reformulated this product, they started calling it Light Sculpting Highlighting Powder, and I have it in the shade Albatross, if you couldn't tell already. This highlighter comes in 6 different shades, and obviously Albatross was the one I was talking about that was originally one of the blushes. As far as I can tell, the other 5 shades they have are new colors. I was really close to getting Fort de France because that one is a beautiful champagne pinky shade, which is exactly the same as all of my other blushes. So then I thought, hold on a second, Albatross is one of the most iconic products they have, and also it's a shade that I don't already have in my collection. So let's venture out and try out something that's a little bit different. So Albatross is a white gold shade, and when you apply it to the face, it really pops. I mean, I'm sure you guys can tell straight away that I just applied some highlighter. The reason I really love NARS highlighters is because it absolutely does not emphasize any texture, and let's be honest, most highlighters do. I just feel like it's so finely milled that it just melts into the skin. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Let me just apply it on this side as well. And now a little bit on the center of the face. That's it. So this was the first episode of the mini-series that I'm planning on doing of the NARS products I just picked up. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I would love to have you here. In the next episode, we're gonna go on and do our eyebrows. I hope to see you there again. And until then, have a good time. Bye.